soda. Remy boys that know fast money don't slow. No one can control it. Yeah, and I got this soda.
Okay guys, today we're going to rebuild associated shocks here. I've taped this white paper down to create some contrast, so hopefully you guys can see the bits and pieces a little better that way. And I'll show you guys how I like to build and bleed my shocks. So once you get everything taken apart and clean, first thing I like to do is take the little spacer and then we have our first O-ring. I like to use a little bit of this green slime. Just give it a light coat. I like to use a big blunt Allen key rather than, a lot of people use screwdrivers, but I don't like using anything sharp with these rubber pieces. Once you have that in, then you put your center spacer, and then we have the second O-ring. Again, I like to use the green slime. And then one of these goes into your little cap here. And that's done. And you just repeat the process. Okay guys, on to the shafts. Now, before I get into this, I just want to give you guys another little, well, kind of two in one. I just did a video about it, so I'm not going to get into it too deep. But if you want super smooth shafts, go back and watch my last video about Neverdull. It's applicable here also. I use it on anything like this. Anyways, to the point I was about to make, I see a lot of people, even experienced RC guys, make this mistake, and they put their eyelid on and then they shove this up through here, and that is a big no-no because you can do a lot of damage to your rings. Always put your pins through this way and always lube them really good. Again, I use the green slime. But okay, now that being said, building the shaft, you want to put your little spacer on and your piston. It's usually a good idea to make sure you got it number side up so you know what you're running. And then you have your tiny little screw. Oh, I gotta grab my 1.5. Hold on. Alright. And I recommend you thread lock these. Last thing you want is your shock coming apart when you're bouncing down the track. I actually had it happen the other night, so that's why I'm doing a full rebuild. Anyway, on with the show. Now, for those of you that know me, I've wound up with this. It's like Loctite on steroids. It's ridiculous. So I use just the absolute tiniest little touch. And even then, I back it in and out a couple times, because this stuff will lock so hard it'll strip your tools. I kid you not. So there's one shaft. My other shaft. Now you're going to want to loosen this up a bit so there's no pressure. Push those through, and then you can go ahead and tighten that back up again. Okay. I don't have fancy shock pliers, so I just use heavily taped and some toilet paper, and that works just fine. And later, of course, once you're finished building your full shock, you're going to want to make sure your throw is identical on both shocks. If they're not, just adjust the rod end as necessary. And that's how I build my shocks. They're super silky smooth. I've already done a video about how to fill shocks with oil, so I'm not going to do that to you guys and do it again, at least not in this video. I've still got to take these ones apart and rebuild them. So I'm gonna do that now. Maybe later when I'm filling all 4 shocks, I'll turn the camera back on and we'll see how I feel. But for now, I'll talk to you guys later. Alright guys, I got my shocks filled with oil. What I do is I fill them up and then I pump them a couple times, as you guys all know. But what I like to do is I take this little box and I move it and I set it on top of I have an air filter in my room, and it creates just the slightest vibration when it operates. So I put this little box and I sit it on there for a good half hour, 40 minutes, and it just vibrates all the bubbles out. There's absolutely none left in there when I do it that way. And then these have sat now for a while, so it's time to bleed them. So I screw that on. Doesn't have to be super tight, just tight. And I back out the screw. Get a little bit of tissue. And I push that up. And then I like to double bleed mine. Sometimes I'll do the second bleed later, like I'll do a quick run and then I'll bleed them again. See what kind of pressure we have. Yeah, so that's nice. I've already got a nice, perfectly dead shock, so I don't need to bleed that again right now. That feels really nice. That's all full of milk. My bleeder screw is absolutely full of clay. There we go. So as you can see, I had to give this one a bit of a second bleed there. Should be nice and dead now. Perfect. Beautiful. Nice. Now again, I don't have Okay, so now we have our shocks. Oh, this one needs a bit more of a bleed. There we go. Oh, see, I got a bit of a rebound, so I'm going to give this one another bleed too. Some people like that little rebound, which is fine. It's personal preference. I don't. I like a completely dead shock. Now that these are built, I can go ahead and get the springs on them. As you guys know, I bought this car from a carpet racer, so the only springs it came with were red fronts and blue backs. The red fronts are just way too stiff, so I bought the green and the whites. The greens are a bit softer. I've been running them up till now at Mike's place. I'm gonna switch over to the white. I believe it goes gray, white, green. A lot of the pro clay guys on the perfect tracks are running gray. So on our track I'm running just a bit softer. Unfortunately I've only got the blue rear springs still. I tried to order some. And anyways, yeah, I'd still need to get some rear springs. Andy, I need rear springs, grays and greens. Sorry. Yeah, grays and greens to match my fronts. These are the two fronts that I'm running, the white and the green. So I gotta get white and green rears and get off these blues. They're just too stiff. So hopefully the next time I order them, I'll actually get them. That's the one thing that Big Boys didn't have for me in my last order. They could have got it, but then I would have had to wait a whole week. So I told them to just refund me and ship everything else right away, because I had like $400 worth of stuff coming that I needed like yesterday, and ultimately I didn't need the rear spring, so for me it was worth waiting and getting all the rest of the stuff a week earlier. So Andy, green and white rear springs for my buggy, bro. Okay, yeah, so let's carry on. So I like to slime up my shafts again. Okay. There you go, guys. Perfectly silky smooth shocks. I wish you guys could feel these. Next time I'm at the track, you can come bounce my car. So yeah, that's it from parts 2 finished and ready to rock on the track. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys did anything differently with your cars and why. That'd be cool. I know a bunch of you guys have cars like these associated, so let me know what you guys think, and let me know your guys' tricks. Maybe you guys know something I don't know. Anyways, that's it for now, so talk to you guys soon.